As you talk sports, they were talking boxing. Proudly joined by Frank Smith. How are you doing today, Frank?
I'm good. I'm just looking. You know, Jamie Ward, right? He's got assistants now. He's got people who come and hold his phone for him. The changed man. Yeah. Like, Josh, can you come over here and play it to me? I'm talent. I'm talent now. I'm talent. Jamie's completely changed.
But anyway, we're at the fight week here in Liverpool for an absolutely stacked card. Talk me through it.
Yeah, packed card, top to bottom, a brilliant show, next-gen show. It's what it's all about, making fights like this, fights people want to see. Peter McGrory back out, someone we believe, look, he's had hard times, he's come through that loss, but we believe he can go all the way still. We believe there's big nights to come still. So excited for Peter McGrory to be back out. He's been waiting for this opportunity for a long, long time. So good to get there. Junaid Boston challenges for his first title against Jack Martin. It's going to be a tough fight. And I think, as I said in the press conference, Junaid would have learnt a lot in that US fight. He would have really gone to, deep depths to get through that. Because it was a hard fight. It was a gruelling fight. First 10 rounder for him, so in a good place. Beatrice Ferreira challenges for a world title. I said a fact up there that maybe isn't a fact, but we'll say it's a fact, that she could be the first reigning world champion to go and win Olympic gold when she goes to Paris this summer. Steve Clark's out on the card, fought a few weeks ago, massive ticket seller. Frankie Stringer as well is on there. Joe McGrail, who we signed after his brilliant performance on the December US show as well. Maisie Rose Courtney, Hamza Uddin's professional debut. So it's a stacked card top to bottom, and exactly what these next gen cards are all about.
Definitely, and a bit more on Peter McGrail. Obviously, he's had a loss. How do you think he's going to be able to, get over the demons that can come with the loss? Put it behind him. Really get on with his career.
No, I think I said it up there. It doesn't define you. A loss doesn't define you. It shouldn't define you in this sport. It's one of the hardest sports out there, and I think he's in a good place. He's in a great place mentally. Look, he was winning every round of that fight. He switched off for a minute, and look what happened. But that's why we love the sport, because at any point things like this can happen. But he's ready to go. He's in a great place, as I say, mentally, physically in the best place he's been in, and he knows what he needs to do. He needs to go in there and perform. But Mark Leach is going to be an awkward opponent. We know what he can do. We've seen him many a times, and I actually think probably a better fight than the Jericho Quinn fight. So excited for it.
Definitely, and some exciting news coming out of match yesterday in New York. Terence Crawford is going to be fighting on Riyadh season in Los Vegas, Los Angeles. Am I right? Is that something we're going to see more of Riyadh season, not necessarily in Saudi Arabia?
Look, it's great to see, and another spectacular card put together by Riyadh season. His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh, Dr. Akan, all of the team, the Seller team. Another amazing show, and it just shows what can be done without politics in the sport. Bringing together 12 odd different promoters to put together the best possible card. He wants to see the best possible fights, and what a show in LA, probably one of the best US cards we've ever seen. And hopefully, there's more for sure. Hopefully there's more shows internationally, but it's just good to be able to see these fights wherever they take place. Seeing fights that we maybe wouldn't have seen without His Excellency involved.
And Terence Crawford under match, is that going to be something we can see permanently?
No, look, it's a show. It's a Riyadh season show. It's we obviously represent Israel Madrimov. He's our fighter. Obviously won his world title on the March 8th undercard in Saudi. So we represent Israel. We're there as his promoter, just as there's a number of different promoters. I think Terence and his promotional company, League One, obviously involved heavily in the event. It's great to see. Like I say, taking away the politics, just putting on good fights, the best fights that people want to see.
Definitely. And at the weekend we saw an absolutely outstanding fight, Ryan Garcia versus Devin Haney. Obviously, Devin's your fighter. He didn't come up with the victory, but what did you make of that fight?
Great fight, brilliant fight, and I think, firstly, respect to both guys for time and time again, just taking real tests. Obviously they're making a lot of money. Obviously they want to make money, but they're chasing legacy fights. They're chasing real fights that people want to see, and a lot of people in the sport don't want to do that. Ryan Garcia, whether it's been the Tank fight before, Devin Haney, the Lomachenko fights, going to Australia to become all of these things, they're taking proper fights, and that's what we love to see, and that's what's going to grow and build the sport. And again, Devin Haney will come back from that. A loss won't define his career. Many of the best in the sport have suffered losses. I'm not saying it's irrelevant, because obviously to a fighter it's not irrelevant, but to actually, if you go and deliver and you take real fights, that's all people want to see.
And Do you think, obviously we've seen Ryan Garcia suggested that maybe he was trying to put it on for the cameras. What do you think of Ryan Garcia's antics before the fight? Do you think he was a bit, or do you think he was putting it on for the camera?
I don't know. I'm not close enough. We don't promote Ryan Garcia. There's a lot of experienced people involved in the event, and he would have spent a lot of time with the New York Athletic State Commission, who are one of the best in the world at what they do. And if he wasn't in a position to fight, he wouldn't have been allowed to fight. That's the reality of it. I think, he's an out there character. He has a lot of beliefs. He's putting beliefs out there. It's not for me or you. He's not the only person in the public eye who has opinions on things, and he's saying things in the world about whatever their views are, and he won't be the last. So it's one of those. The safety of fighters is obviously paramount, but he went in and showed with that performance that he was fit and ready for that fight. So it's hard to have a say, really.
Obviously, Devin Haney's first loss, as you mentioned, Ryan Garcia also has a loss in his record. Do you think we're coming away from that era, like the Mayweather type thing, where everybody thinks it's so important to have an unbeaten record? And do you think it's beneficial for boxing?
I don't think I think it's beneficial for boxing this way round, and that's why I think UFC's been so good, because fighters are taking challenges. Don't worry about a loss. Look, no one wants to lose as an athlete, I'm sure, but it doesn't define your career. If you go in there and you deliver value, you deliver entertainment, you'll come back time and time and time again. That's what it comes down to, and I think it's only going to be beneficial for the sport in the long run.
And finally, touching upon Conor Benn, Ryan Garcia actually called out Conor Benn. Is that a fight that we can see?
It's a great fight. Look, everyone calls out Conor Benn. There's 20 odd fights for Conor Benn to take. So let's see. But definitely a big fight if it can happen.
And Conor Benn has actually been quiet in terms of calling people out until he called out Errol Spence. He said that he'll go to America, put him in retirement. Has there been any talks about that, or is that just Conor on Twitter?
Not right now. Look, we've obviously got the ongoing situation with Conor. As soon as he can fight, he'll be out there fighting.
Whatever it will be, it'll be an interesting fight. Thank you very much for your time. Appreciate it.